Hi, and welcome to this first Jacob Alliance Town Hall. My name is Thomas Igmestad, and I'm chairing the Jacob Alliance Steering Committee on behalf of Aker BP. With me today, I have Morten Kelstrup from Maersk Drilling, Sean-Mark Lopez from Halliburton, and Mats Rødsjø from Aker BP. Communication throughout the Alliance is something we want to improve on. Having a town hall like we have today is something we believe will improve how we communicate across the Alliance. Hopefully, you as the viewer will share this view after the event. So if you bring up the agenda, Camilla, we will have input and insights from all Alliance partners. I will kick off by going through the why, the what, and the how of what we try to achieve through the Jacob Alliance. We will get input from all Alliance colleagues on these topics, how they view the Alliance and their experience so far. We will get some great insights from people in the field, both on what is working and what we need to improve on. And at the end, we will go into a Q&A session and closing. We already know we will not be able to answer all questions submitted within the allocated time, but we will continue to stream and answer questions out with the allocated time for those interested. All questions will be available in the recorded version. So let's move into the safer moment, Camilla, this time from Richard Eichhorn.
Hello everybody, my name is Richard Eichhorn and I'm an offshore service leader working for one of the Jacob Alliances in Norway. I would like to take a moment of your time to have a brief chat about building a stronger safety culture, because keeping everybody safe is paramount. Through employee surveys and statistics, we found that it's essential to build a stronger safety culture which is more centered around trust and collaboration. In order to effectively build a strong culture, we must communicate, be transparent, and empower our people. Because for change to happen, it needs to start with you. And you need to make it personal. By personal, I mean that everybody needs to make a good effort to change their behavior. For example, follow up on an observation. And most of all, stay safe. As you can imagine, a safe culture means each and every one of us cares to keep everybody safe. This seems obvious, but sometimes during a busy day, it's so easy to forget. So how do we accomplish a stronger safety culture? Well, for example, through more visible leadership, lead by example, by building trust with colleagues, by actually following up and not only talk about it, and to foster communication and collaboration. As said before, it all starts with you and your actions. Now, what can we do to build a culture of trust with communication and empowerment? I believe this is something we can all do together as a team to strengthen our safety culture. By inspiring and motivating our employees. For example, during a hazard hunt, to give the task back to the foreman or the safety delegate. For our country leadership, to not only talk the talk, but also walk the walk. Our monthly meetings with frontline leaders, or a team lunch by PSL and function. We can empower individuals or groups. There's a strong focus on stop work authority, and recently an employee safety task force has been initiated. All by delegating and setting expectations and boundaries. We can build and value human capital. There's a foundation of leadership, and we are providing leadership training for our frontline leaders. And by coaching and mentoring our workforce. Maybe identifying role models and use them as coaches, as well as implementing training relating to mentoring and coaching. And there is the monthly KPI one-pager to identify opportunities. All these changes will require an effort. It will take time, and we all need to look at ourselves to engage and take action to change. I'm sure that together we can and will build a stronger culture centered on trust and collaboration to ensure we care for each other and stay safe. Thank you very much.
Many thanks to Richard for the insight and reflection on some very important topics. These are all fundamental for our success and further development as an alliance. The question I've gotten the most over the past few years with regards to alliance in Aker BP is simply why? Why do we step away from the traditional and more conventional way of working? Aker BP was formed back in 2016 with a clear vision that still stands. Be the leading independent E&P company. This means bringing oil and gas to the market with the lowest possible cost and carbon footprint. To underpin this vision, a simple strategy was formed consisting of 3 focus areas: execute, improve, and grow, built on a foundation of health, safety, and the environment. Execute is our bread and butter and is essential for improving and growing our company. If we get this wrong, we do not know what to improve and get the funds to grow. The question asked at the time was, how do we execute, leading to improvements over time and growth of the company? Based on this, a 4-point agenda was formed to position Aker BP ahead of our competitors. We want to be at the forefront when it comes to digitizing our industry. We want to create a value chain based on lean understanding and culture. We want a flexible business model ready for growth and volatility. And not at least what we are talking about here today, we want to reorganize the value chain with strategic partnerships and alliances. The value proposition for alliances is to have longer and deeper relationships. That we, through longer trust-based relationships, create more value for all partners compared to historical transactional relationships. Avoid the cost of start-stops and build on continuous improvement over time. Essential to a longer-term relationship is to build trust and integrity between the partners. We need to have a common goal, play by the same rules, and not at least, we all need to create value for our respective companies. In order to achieve this, we have defined some fundamental principle which guides us over our journey. And it is a journey. It's a new territory for all of us, and to some degree, the path is defined as we walk it. In addition, we need to be able to react if we are in violation of our funding principles. So if we look closer to these principles, huge focus is given to having safe operations through reduced risk and high quality in our deliveries, which again will result in improvements. Getting the oil and gas to the market faster is essential to all of us, not only from an operator perspective in increased production. The increased cash flow coming from this production will be invested and enable funding of new alliance projects going forward. We are not here to drill ourselves out of work. We are here to generate common values on a continuous basis over a longer period of time. Aker BP only operates in Norway, and historically the discoveries on the shelf are becoming smaller and smaller. In order to produce these economically, we need to come down on cost, as well as place the wells in such a manner we can drain all the resources optimally. In order to lower cost, we need to reduce waste in a value chain. This will become more and more critical as we move the alliance ahead, and it is not about doing things faster, it's about doing things smarter. We want to remove waste, but you might want to spend more time on certain aspects as it increases the quality of the delivery. As a result, you deliver on lower cost per barrel compared to what we have been doing historically. So how do we do this? It's not straightforward and it will take time. But I have to say, we have gotten off to a great start. As an operator, we have to wear 2 hats. One as the duty holder, defining the why and the what, and one as the equal partner, defining the how we will do things. At the same time, the alliance partners need to step up to the plate and proactively participate in the how. This has to be done through common drivers and trust-based relationships, commercial models that pull us all in the same direction. And I do know that our first version of the MLC have not made this easy from the start. This will change. Having a culture based on one for all for one philosophy, and best company for the job to increase efficiency and quality, where we seek opportunities that will create value for all of us through smarter ways of working, investments in new technology, investment in competency building within our people, or through strategic areas like the green shift giving low carbon solution as examples. This is a journey, as mentioned, that just started. We have learned a lot so far, but we need to move forward and improve on where we are today. The rest of this session will focus on this and give you some insights to what has been done as well as what is possible. As a teaser, let's get some insight of what it is like to work in an alliance. Camilla, please run the next video.
The best thing about working in the Jack-up Alliance is that I get to learn from the experts in Maersk and Halliburton. They have such a high knowledge about their fields of expertise, and that gives me a feeling of support, a sense of security, and I know that we are working together towards a common goal.
For me, the team spirit that's starting to develop is one of the best things about the alliance culture that we're trying to build here. I think I really do see everybody is trying to focus on the end product, the delivering the wells efficiently and safely and cost effectively.
Running a safe and efficient operation is probably the best advertising we can get. So when we as an alliance manage to deliver this to our client, I think it will help our position in the market, which is probably more important today than ever before.
The best thing about working in the alliance is that we all share this common goal and we all work towards the same targets.
The flexibility for implementing new ideas and after action reviews into the program is very short, and we're trying to challenge the traditional way of performing various operations. At the same time, logistics seems to be more effective due to the close cooperation in between the companies in the alliance and the onshore team.
The best about working in the alliance is that everybody has a common goal and interest to streamline the operation, thinking out of the box and come up with new solutions.
Is the collaboration between the partners, both onshore and offshore. I believe it has taken the relationship between the customer, the service partner and the client to a new level.
It doesn't mean that we are always in agreement. We have discussions, we challenge each other, which makes us stronger.
I think the main challenge is to convince people that we're working together that this is not just a passing thing. This is something that's come to stay, a new way of working, a new sustainable way of working for the industry.
For the drilling engineers onshore, one of the main challenges is the MLC and MLT process. We use a lot of time and resources to agree on most likely time and cost, especially in P&A operations where we have a lot of uncertain operations. It could be very difficult and challenging.
The main challenge about working in the alliance is to convert of the old traditional way of working in the three organizations.
I think we've still got a lot further to go with how we actually work with the behaviours of all the people in the alliance. I think there's been a huge stride made in actually improving how we all work together. But as new people come in, it's getting everybody to adapt to that new culture. And the culture, that the alliance is trying to develop is a little bit new for the oil and gas industry.
One team in the alliance means that we all have benefit from achieving good results, both economically and job security-wise, as good performance will increase the chances of getting more work for the rig operation. So we need to win together and we'll fail together and we lift each other up in case of a setback.
There's no difference if you have a Maersk Drilling boiler chute, Halliburton, Aker BP or any of the service companies. When you're one team, that means that we are all here working for the same goal. Open and honest communication is the key to success. And that's what one team is all about.
This is something that you have an opportunity to be part of if you put a bit of skin in the game.
Yeah, some great reflection from a member of our alliance. So thank you, both on what's good and what we need to work on to become better going forward. And Morten, you came in after we started the alliance. However, you've been with us long enough to get an understanding of what is working and what is not. I would appreciate if you could share your thoughts and Maersk's experience so far, and I guess there are more than one side to the story.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. And as you mentioned, I joined Maersk Drilling after the alliance was started. But having spent almost 20 years in upstream oil, I think I can also say that I've never seen anything like what Aker BP, Halliburton and Maersk Drilling are doing in the alliance. I truly believe that we are leading the industry when it comes to collaboration and performance. And I think this is something that we can all be proud of. But if we look at the difference between what we're doing in the alliance and a traditional contracting model, it's very much about how we align incentives within the alliance. And by aligning incentives, we foster a completely different way of working together. We foster a culture of collaboration and trust. And I think a good example to illustrate this is found in the question, what do we do when there's a problem? In the traditional model, we'd start by reading the contract. We would all focus on what the contract said about rights and obligations, and then each party would ponder how to best position ourselves. We will focus on always getting the biggest upside for ourselves, or losing the least, if you will. This creates friction, creates inefficiencies, and a lot of waste. In the alliance, instead, when we are facing a problem, we pick up the phone and we start finding solutions together. We plan it out, we solve the problems as agreed, and importantly, then we learn and improve together. Or as you just heard in the video, we lift each other up if we have a setback. I'm sure if you explain this to people outside our industry, many would say, yes, of course. That's simple. But in oil and gas, it's not as easy as it sounds. As Tommy already has alluded to, the alliance way of working does not come by itself. First and foremost, working like we're doing in the alliance requires that we are willing to give something. The alliance is not a free lunch. Each of us have to invest real value rather than only focusing on protecting our own interest. We need to put skin in the game, as you just heard from Søren. For us in Maersk Drilling, this amongst other mean that we make our rigs available for the alliance. We make people in our organization available to benefit the alliance, how we work and how we can improve. We do this because we trust our partners will be working hard to keep our rigs and crews busy. So what do we get in return? We obviously get the rig out to work, no doubt about that. But we also share in the benefits and the value that we create. We share the upside and we learn from each other. Jointly, we know a heck of a lot more than we do individually. So when we openly share our knowledge, we all get smarter. And this only happens, in my mind, because we are aligned on the goals. It only happens because we have trust in each other. That's not straightforward. Most of us have grown up in the traditional and very transactional business models. So it takes time to build the right culture and the right level of trust. And it has taken time for us in the alliance too. But I also believe we crossed the bridge. We come a long way on this journey. And I think we prove that every day on the integrator, on Invincible, and in our offices. I think this is testament to the quality of the people that we have in Aker BP, in Halliburton, and in Maersk Drilling. And once you have alignment on goals, once you have trust and a culture of collaboration, then you also have an incredibly strong foundation to not only solve the task at hand, but also to improve and build the longer-term future. In this way, through a longer and deeper relationship that Tommy talked about, the Alliance provides a forum for development that I don't believe would have happened in the traditional model. And I think a great example of us investing in the longer term is the drilling process platform. This is a new digital system that we've been developing over a couple of years in close collaboration with Aker BP. The drilling process platform will digitally allow us to share and use data to improve planning and performance for both drilling instruction and drilling operations. Instead of guarding the data because we believe it's valuable, we share them and get more value from them together, adding further to the efficiency gains we already realized in the Alliance. We started the testing phase of the drilling process platform last year, and we are now getting it ready to be deployed gradually on both Maersk Invincible and Maersk Integrator. And if all goes well, we will start on Invincible already in May. We see the same willingness to invest in the longer term when it comes to our shared ambition of providing access to energy in a responsible way. But what does that mean, energy in a responsible way? It means that we all have to be both financially and environmentally sustainable. We must own responsibility also to ourselves and to the society at large to drive down emissions from our operations. We need low cost and low emissions, as already mentioned. And I think we're off to a good start. After all, the Alliance is all about removing waste and increasing efficiency. We are aligned around the goal of always becoming more efficient. This not only improves the value of the wells we are constructing, but it also lowers the emissions. After all, it makes good sense that we reduce the time, and when we reduce the time it takes to construct a well, we also reduce the environmental footprint, including the CO2 emissions. You will hear a lot more about this shortly, including how we are running Maersk Invincible on shore power and how we are upgrading Maersk Integrator to a hybrid rig. But right now, it's important for me to emphasize that investing for the longer term in operational efficiencies or in emission reductions is a lot easier when you have a long-term perspective fostered by the Alliance. It's a lot easier when you can open but also challenging discussions in a culture of trust and collaboration. We know we are working together not only today but also tomorrow. So it's ingrained in how we are working that we take care not only of today but also of tomorrow. And as a long-term employee of Maersk, it actually makes me really proud to see our value of constant care in action in this way. So to summarize, to me, the one thing that sets this alliance apart from the traditional model is the way we are aligning incentives and how this fosters trust and collaboration. And trust and collaboration are the foundation for everything we do in the alliance, from safety through operations to innovating for the future. The result is a win-win situation rewarding all three of us in the alliance in both the short and the longer term. This further unlocks new product investments and more innovation. The alliance is, simply put, a really good idea for the three of us. It's also a good idea for society at large, which is looking for us to deliver affordable energy while combating climate change. So in short, so far, the alliance is really producing impressive results for all of us. But to me, it's only the beginning. Thank you.
Thank you, Morten. Some great insights there that is worth building on trust and collaboration for us, all of us to win. One of the strategic focus areas for the Jacob Alliance is sustainability. We are finalizing our long-term goals aligned with the Paris Agreement. However, we have already gotten off to a great start, as Morten mentioned. So let's have a look into where we are today.
Aker BP is a pure-play oil and gas company. In order for us to create a sustainable future, we need to be competitive on low cost and low carbon. This is an expectation from all our stakeholders, from the society, from our investors, but also important for us to generate value for our shareholders. And we are already well on the way to deliver on some of our first projects through Maersk and Halliburton in the Jacob Alliance.
In the sustainability strategy of Maersk Drilling, we have said we will reduce our emissions by 50% by 2030.
On Maersk Integrator this year, we have installed an SCR package, which basically reduces NOx emissions by around 96%. It's the estimate on the Ivar Aasen campaign. Aker BP and Maersk Drilling have made an amendment to the contract regarding energy efficiency. And that has allowed us to install a battery package this year that will reduce, we estimate, reduce the amount of CO2 emitted by about 25%.
On the current campaign where we're doing P&A on Valhall, we're actually connected up with shore power from Norway, hydropower. So it's completely emissions-free from a rig point of view. The rig is tailor-made for this. It has special equipment so we can receive the power. So that is one of the big things that we have done right now, and there's more to come. The Alliance supports emission reductions by focusing on efficiency, eliminating inefficiencies through the value chain, thereby delivering wells quicker, safer, and of high quality. When we deliver a well a day ahead of schedule, our own calculations show that we reduce the CO2 emissions by 1 day.
Well, I think it's incumbent on all the Alliance members to try and actively contribute to the sustainability goals that have been identified. Firstly, all the equipment we deploy offshore is electric. Secondly, we're trying to take truckloads off the road, the amount of cargo that we move to Aker BP operations by focusing on using our vessel Hanna Christina. And then finally, we supply a lot of products into the Alliance. The aim is to reduce their overall CO2 footprint.
Sustainability in the Alliance is all about now driving energy efficiency in our operations in the short term and the medium term, and then in the long term we will look into where we get the power from. And that is also connected to the scope and how we design things, and basically improvement through waste removal. We can only succeed if we understand the mutual dependency between the companies, and then thereby improving together. One for all for one.
Sustainability is important to Aker BP and important to Maersk Drilling, part of our strategies, but it's also important to me personally that it's not just about getting oil out of the ground. We're working to reduce the impact that we have on the environment.
This is great, an important agenda, not only for the alliance and the respective companies, but as mentioned, for the society at large and for me personally. Jean-Marc, you moved to Norway into your current role after the alliance was put in place. I know you have been instrumental to the focus Halliburton has given to leadership and behavior within the alliance, and how we all need to work together to be successful. So why don't you share some of your thoughts and insights?
Yes, thank you, Tommy, and thank you, Morten, and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jean-Marc Lopez from Halliburton. It's really a great opportunity for me to share with you some positive effect of working in our Jack-Up Alliance model, and I am so proud to be part of it. Let me first tell you that our alliance model is impacting everything we are doing, from safety to successful well delivery. And we are doing it respecting our alliance core value, which are empowerment, trust, transparency, and collaboration. It doesn't come naturally, and we have to practice more and more this value every day. So let me first be clear. Safety has always been, and we continue to be, the first priority in the Aker BP operation. In my experience, I have never seen any compromise on safety, either on the account of quality or productivity. As a reflection, let me tell you, how can we work safely if we don't build a strong culture around it? This is why we commit to safety and collaboration, building a culture of trust with good communication, and empowerment where people are at the center of it. Let's now talk about the positive effect of the alliance model on our safety performance. We must keep our people safe and help people care. So why? Why do we need to focus on our alliance culture? Because we have the mission to help our people to care. Care about others, about our tools, our processes, and our business in general. We also have the mission, all of us, to keep our people safe by watching for each other. So how are we going to do that? First, through visible leadership. This is probably the most important piece, leading by example and walk the talk. Then, by building trust. And this is something we have been very successful in 2020, improving trust through the alliance. As I always said, trust is the conduit of psychological safety. Without trust, there is fear to act, fear to speak, fear to think, fear to give any feedback. And without feedback, there is no opportunity for improvement. Doing what we say. And by the way, sometimes it is better to not say if you don't act on it. Word matter. And the last one, fostering communication and collaboration. We need to have an open communication to reach clear and common goal and gain better solution. What do? Well, we inspire, we motivate, we empower all individuals, we value people, and we coach and mentor, and so much more. You know, we can be proud of the work we have done so far. There are many successes to celebrate on safety. And I like to repeat that we will get better and stronger by practicing our culture, core value every day. Maersk have also been very supportive in developing the offshore culture and have really worked to deliver on the alliance principle. This can be seen through the focus by Maersk on building the alliance mindset manual, and of course, how the rig has supported the Halliburton offshore team in this challenging time with COVID. There is so much we can achieve collaborating together. Now I'd like to talk about the positive effect of the alliance model on our service quality performance. The Drilling and Well Alliance have given Halliburton and the partner the opportunity to leverage the tighter integration afforded by the one-team culture. Working closely together, onshore and offshore, we can deliver performance improvement across many aspects of the operation. And one of the many initiatives that we have developed together is the ready-to-run process. The aim of this process is to deliver all drilling and ultimately completion assembly to the rig site such that the tools or equipment can be delivered from boat to rig floor and run into the well with minimal needs for final check. This approach focuses on the following key safety and quality criteria by, first, reducing exposure to the crew in the red zone as HSE, aims to deliver flawless performance of tool as reliability, reduction of flat time spent on BHA, and equipment handling as a time saving, and strengthen the alliance synergy by developing an efficient integrated rig and service team as integration. In conclusion, I will say that this alliance initiative will improve speed, quality, performance, and cost. The alliance has applied this process on the Maersk Integrated during the Ivar Aasen campaign very successfully. As we learn more about these processes to drive further efficiency between onshore and offshore operation, we will expand it to further drive the performance-first mindset. Maersk and Aker BP have both been very supportive to make this process a reality. The Maersk Integrated rig crew have been part of driving that success. Our last example is around the quick adoption of new technology from the alliance. A great example of this deployment of the very deep reading resistivity tool that have helped enhance reservoir understanding. Earthstar is the first real-time 3D ultra-deep resistivity service. In simple words, I would say it's like we turn the light on while drilling and we are illuminating a much larger volume of the reservoir. And we can really see much more while drilling, much more of what's going on around us, much more than before. This will help navigating through the reservoir to find the sweet spot, getting more reservoir contact, and ultimately more production. Working closely with Aker BP subsurface teams, the Earthstar system has evolved to develop improved ability to map reservoir feature in 3D and provide new subsurface insight of complex reservoir. It assists in the correlation of 3D structural elements. Improved reservoir understanding ultimately leads to increased reservoir productivity and success for all alliance partners. To develop such pioneering technology requires a strong working relationship, and the alliance has been key to providing that foundation. In conclusion, I would like to say that the alliance model helped to adopt new technology better and quicker through the trust environment and the strong relationship of our alliance model. Now we're going to watch a video of a great example of new technology that will improve our efficiency through the automation of our cementing services.
Aker BP has for a long time looked at digitalization and automation projects, and we team up with our alliance partners to deliver an operation, a cementing operation that we can perform from shore and fully automated.
Basically, before we had an offshore control room where the operator was sitting and doing all the cement operations on the rig. Now we move the cementers into the office building, and we need to move the controls from offshore to onshore. This means increased efficiency, reduced cost, and less exposure to HSE. Now we have programmed the cement unit to do the best possible operations every time, rather than being a human interface. Same as if you have your own car, you and me drive slightly different. Now we said, this is the way you're going to drive, this is the way you're going to drive every time. So that would be one of the biggest changes.
For me as a cementer, it means that I don't have to travel offshore anymore. I don't have to take a chopper. I can walk 5 minutes from here, from home, and I can, when I'm finished, I can go home, meet my kids and family, friends, and I still do the same job as I did offshore, just from this computer. I believe this automated system makes the quality of the cement job much better, because we can pay attention to everything that is important, which is the quality of the cement, that the rates are properly, and the pressure, and we don't have to press the mouse button all the time. Before, we had to press almost 200 clicks on the mouse. Now we're trying to get it down to 5 clicks. This does it automatically, and the quality of the job will be better.
I can tell you one thing, we are the first one in the world to perform a job from shore fully automated, and that's a heck of an achievement for the Alliance.
Thank you, Jean-Marc, for sharing your insight, and it's great to watch this video about onshore automated cementing, one of many achievements in the Alliance. Challenges and opportunities are what will face us every day going forward. And Mats, what's your take on this?
Well, basically, I think it's hard to predict the future, but I think in many ways the future and the past is two sides of the same story. In essence, we need to continue to improve as an alliance, as well as an industry, in order to secure our future and basically to be the best. To reflect a bit on what we've been through, we've just been through one of the toughest periods that our industry has ever faced, with extreme oil price uncertainty and huge changes to our everyday lives due to COVID. I sometimes ask myself, what was my life like before this came about? And actually it's almost becoming a faint memory. At the same time, I'm very grateful and blessed that I still have an interesting job and great colleague that I still work with. And I think that is something that we need to not take for granted. So to reflect on the future, what did we learn from this COVID-19 period? Well, we learned that things can change much faster than we thought. And that our profit margins as an industry is fragile. And we need to prepare for that. I think the other part of it is that all of our competitors have also learned this, and therefore our competition just got harder. If you look at the Norwegian continental shelf in which we operate, we also seen a shift in the operator market and the players that come into it. Often privately backed operators are entering the market, and they have niche competency. This is also a part of the picture going forward, also contributing to the elevated competitions. While many things have changed, many things stay the same. We will still make our living by planning, drilling, and constructing wells in a safe and efficient manner. That never changes, and it will always be at the core of our focus. Being the best at delivering wells still requires high-quality plans and not at least cooperation across the alliance companies. To maintain and scale our activity level, we need to continue our development of continuous improvement. That is, whatever we do, if we don't improve, we will go out of business. Basically, continuous improvement could be cooked down to a few items: safety, quality, cost, efficiency, and not at least environmental footprint. In order to address this need for improvement, the Alliance has developed some strategic areas that we focus our common improvement effort towards. Pick up the slide, and these are basically digitalizations, technology, green shift, organization, commercial, and early phase planning. In essence, we need to be the best version of ourselves to make sure that we can improve our part of the value chain. And in many cases, you will see that these are interlinked in many ways, that digitalization and technology can lead to either commercial improvements or green shift improvement or improvements in early phase planning. So in summary, we have proven that we can endure through tough times, that we can adapt and rise to challenges and changes in our environment. This is a great fundament for us to continue our journey as an alliance to preserve our position as the best drilling team. And I will repeat that, the best drilling team. We will continue to celebrate, share, and learn from our successes. After all, success is the best source of learning. Not only how did we succeed, but also understanding why we succeeded. This also means that through this continuous improvement and successes, we will safeguard value creation for all parties and also the sustainability of our industry's supply and value chain. And basically preserve business 101. Everybody makes money. Our assets, the alliance partners, and society at large. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share, Tommy. So I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you, Mats. Plenty of things to bring with us going forward. And I'm also very pleased to notice that we are still playing to win. From the video so far, you probably noticed the one team focus, the relationship and trust that is needed to make the alliance work. An important part of building the trust is what makes people proud. And we want to show you some example of what is achieved. So Camilla, please run the next video.
What I'm most proud of in my work in the Alliance, to see how we as a team has developed from the startup of the Alliance to what we ended up delivering on Ivar Aasen. And how all companies in the Alliance managed to change into a strong one team unit, lifting together. The drive and efficiency we ended up with on Ivar Aasen made me proud of being a part of the team.
To see my colleagues stepping up when we experience challenges on the rig, working long days and weekends without any negative comments and with just one goal in front of their eyes. What went wrong and how can we fix it? The one team spirit was stronger than I have ever experienced before, and that made me proud.
I believe we have exceeded expectation in almost every aspect of the operation since we started working as an alliance. The fact that our client now seems to be able to plan more projects with the rig in the same period of time is just a clear statement of the performance we have delivered. It makes me proud to be a part of that. It's just always nice to deliver good quality work.
The deliverable from the Alliance on the Valhall DP P&A is one of the things that have made me proud. Through the COVID restrictions, we have had new team members, new operations and new technology, and we have performed way better than we have expected.
What I'm most proud about here in the Alliance is our teamwork. We've all pushed our limits in different ways. We've improved the rig efficiency and we've done it in a safe way. On top of this, we've also reduced our HSE incidents.
What am I most proud of working in the Alliance? I think it's the level of trust between the partners, along with the open environment and open culture we have created and continue to build upon.
I think it's really hard to pick one specific event, but if I look at the performance on the Maersk Invincible, it really has been outstanding, both from the drilling activities, the conductor setting, drilling over 2 kilometers in the day, to the current P&A campaign.
What has made me most proud so far in the Alliance is the 2.2K day.
In the Alliance, we can win together by having continuity in personnel, both onshore and offshore. We know each other's roles and deliverables, and we build trust so that we can push the performance together.
We win together by working together.
It starts with a mindset, and it ends with a mindset. That's the only way we can win. With a true one team and one team spirit, I think we can conquer most challenges that comes our way. but it needs to be in a one-team setting and with a mindset.
Building a strong team that trust each other and are committed to fulfill our common goals will make us the Liverpool of the Norwegian continental shelf. Unbeatable.
Well, examples of some great achievements that make me proud to be a part of. So well done, everybody. So thank you for watching.